James never imagined that a simple act of kindness would change his life forever. It was an ordinary evening, the kind where the weight of the world felt heavier on his tired shoulders. The sun was setting, casting a golden glow over the quiet street as James walked home from his shift at the diner. His feet ached, his back throbbed, and the worry of unpaid bills loomed in his mind like a dark cloud. Life had never been easy for him, especially after losing his wife. Now, it was just him and his granddaughter, Mia, struggling to make ends meet. As James walked down the familiar cracked sidewalk, something caught his eye: a sleek, expensive car pulled over to the side of the road. A well-dressed woman stood beside it, pacing anxiously, frustration clear on her face. The hood of the car was up, and one of the tires was completely flat. James could have walked away. After all, he had enough problems of his own. But deep down, James was a man of kindness, someone who believed that lending a helping hand, no matter how small, was the right thing to do. "Excuse me, ma'am," he said gently, his deep voice carrying warmth despite his exhaustion. "Need some help?" The woman, startled, turned around. She looked at him, taking in his worn work clothes and kind but tired eyes. Relief spread across her face. "Oh, yes, please. I have no idea how to change a tire, and I was supposed to be at an important meeting an hour ago," she said, sighing in frustration. James glanced at Mia, who stood close to him, holding onto his arm. "Stay here, sweetheart," he whispered to her before kneeling down to inspect the damage. He had changed countless tires in his lifetime, but his hands, weathered and stiff from years of labor, moved slower now. Still, he got to work, determined to help this stranger in need. As he worked, the woman watched curiously. She noticed the way Mia gazed at her grandfather with admiration, and she couldn't help but smile. "Your granddaughter is lovely," she said, breaking the silence. "Thank you, ma'am," James replied with a hint of pride in his voice. "She's my everything." The woman crouched down, brushing a strand of hair from her face. "If you don't mind me asking, what do you do for a living?" James hesitated for a moment before speaking. "Used to work in construction, until my back gave out on me. Now I do part-time cleaning jobs. It's not much, but it keeps food on the table," he said, a faint sadness in his voice. The woman nodded, her expression softening. "That's admirable. The world could use more people like you," she said. James tightened the last bolt and stood up slowly, wiping his hands on his worn-out jeans. "There you go, ma'am. You're all set now," he said with a tired but sincere smile. The woman reached into her purse and pulled out a crisp $100 bill, holding it out to him. "Please, take this. You have no idea how much you've helped me," she said earnestly. James hesitated, shaking his head. "No, ma'am, that's all right. Just glad I could help." But she insisted, pressing the money into his hand with a firm yet gentle touch. "Kindness deserves to be rewarded," she said before getting into her car and driving off into the evening. Little did James know, that moment would be the beginning of something far greater than he could have ever imagined. Before we continue, if you're enjoying this story, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications for more heartwarming stories like this. You never know when a small act of kindness could lead to something extraordinary. Days passed, and James had nearly forgotten about the encounter, until a sleek black car pulled up outside his modest home. The same woman stepped out, but this time, she wasn't alone. A sharply dressed man accompanied her, and James felt a flicker of nervousness in his chest. "Mr. James?" the woman asked with a warm smile. "I wanted to properly introduce myself. My name is Angela Richards, and I'm the CEO of a major real estate firm in the city." James blinked in shock, gripping the doorframe. "Well, nice to meet you, ma'am," he said hesitantly. Angela exchanged a glance with the man beside her before continuing. "I haven't stopped thinking about how you helped me the other day. Your kindness, it reminded me of my own father. He always said that good people deserve good things. So, I'd like to offer you something. James' heart pounded. Ma'am, I don't understand, he said, his voice shaking slightly. Angela smiled warmly. We have an opening for a maintenance manager at my company. Good pay, benefits, and flexible hours so you can take care of Mia. I'd love to have someone like you on our team. James felt his legs tremble. For years, he had struggled to provide for Mia, working late nights and early mornings just to scrape by. And now, an opportunity like this was right in front of him. He looked down at Mia, who was beaming with hope, then back at Angela. Ma'am, I don't know what to say, he whispered, overwhelmed with emotion. Just say yes, she replied, offering her hand. With tears welling in his eyes, James shook her hand firmly. That handshake marked the beginning of a new chapter, one he never saw coming. From that day on, everything changed. James thrived in his new job, working hard and earning enough to finally give Mia the stability she deserved. They moved into a better home, and for the first time in years, James felt a sense of security and hope for the future. This story is a powerful reminder that no act of kindness is too small. Sometimes, the universe has a way of rewarding those with good hearts in ways they never expect. If this story inspired you, please like the video, subscribe to our channel, and share your thoughts in the comments below. What was the last act of kindness you experienced? We'd love to hear your stories. And remember, kindness always finds its way back to you, often when you least expect it.